from Time Magazine, absolutely classic, February 2021, right after the darkest day in American history. They wrote this article titled, "The Secret History of the Shadow Campaign That Saved the 2020 Election." Saved it from who? We're not quite sure. A couple of weirdo Hollywood political elites, and they were saying what a lot of people already believe to be true. So when they say it, it's okay. But when somebody outside of the cabal says it, they are going to jail. Well, maybe not jail, but certainly kicked off social media. My name's Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I'm absolutely begging you.
I'm begging you, please. Come on, please.
Because the algorithm is a beast. They're trying to get me to stop. So it would help me a lot if you engage with the content, and it costs you nothing. But it would help me even more if you wanted to buy my book, New York City 2020, Gotham Unglued, on Amazon.com. And that is not free. But this article aside, I mean, clearly it's 35 minutes worth of them telling you that, yeah, we saved you from yourself, right? And we destroyed the country while doing it. But that's not the point here. The point is this article. So in 2021, they were telling you how the secret, the shadow cabal, the campaign that saved the election, and we got the weirdo empty suit hack puppet Bo Biden. But now, in 2024, this is how far off the plot they've gone, right? It's one thing to rub your nose in the idea that they lie, cheat, and steal to take power, but now they're literally telling you his pregnancy came as a shock. Florida's abortion law made it harder. Well, bro, none of this is even remotely realistic. It would be one thing if you just went back to the old days of, Republicans are racist, or, Republicans want to cut Social Security. That was far more believable. But now you're letting us know that you stole an election and that men are getting pregnant, and he's sad. He is sad because Florida's abortion bill is making it harder. There's another story about how illegals in Florida they don't want to go get abortions. They don't want to go see the OBGYN or whatever during their pregnancy because they might be kicked out. Well, yeah, you probably should have never showed up. But they say Jasper never considered he might be pregnant. What? Okay, obviously they're talking about a woman who is cosplaying as a man. Jasper. Despite the nausea, I don't know. The stomach pain, the fatigue, the possibility never crossed his mind. He was about 6 months into testosterone therapy, a form of gender-affirming care. And, of course, gender-affirming care is the peak of the dystopian democratic doublespeak crop. So, as you can see in the first paragraph, they use he and him as much as humanly possible to make people believe. Who is this for? This for kids? I don't, not real, maybe college age, maybe 18 to 21, because younger kids, they can see right through it for the most part. And anybody else, I mean, there's only a handful of people in that sweet spot of brainwashing where, like I say, if you go to college and you go to the cafeteria and you make a different order than somebody next to you, they're going to scream in your face, right? The brainwashing is so heavy. So after they admitted to fortifying the election, they now want you to believe that a man is pregnant, and because of big scary mean Ron DeSantis and the Republicans in Florida, they're making it even more. The testosterone, the hormones, that's not what's making it difficult. It's the politicians in Florida. Now, don't get me wrong, politicians are pretty creepy across the board, but can you really blame this on a politician, right? If you're in the first paragraph, they say testosterone therapy. You think that's going to have no effect on the child? It had taken ages to get his father and stepmother on board. Through 18 years old at the time, Jasper lived with and relied on them for support, but looking in the rearview mirror, he knew treatment was one of the best things he'd ever done for himself. And here we go. I mean, they're just laying it on super thick. Feeling the peach fuzz grow on his face, hearing his voice deepen, noticing that his jawline shifted and eyebrows darkened, it was the first time in his life that Jasper truly felt at home in his body. The treatment made him look and feel like himself. It also meant he barely menstruated. That wasn't a big deal, though. Ever since puberty, he had regular periods. Their absence didn't even register. Okay, so this is crazy. And just for clarity, I know there's a bunch of stuff going on. Oh, congressional catfight and Bo Jiden pandering at the black college. Obviously, Houston, Texas, having a huge tornado and at least parts of the city going down in power for 4 days. But this one sort of flew under the radar, and they're just saying it like it's normal. Oh, his pregnancy was tough. What? Bro, this can't go on anymore, right? And this is why you guys obviously have lost any and all credibility. No matter who is giving you these talking points, no matter where it's coming down from, it is not believable. In June 2022, Jasper caught okay, so here we go. The transformer who impregnated this man, right? So another man, what? Another man slept, lied down with a woman pretending to be a man, and then you were okay, whatever. So there's that, and then there's also Rona. Oh, caught COVID-19 while traveling with his boyfriend's family, and between the viral symptoms and newfound back soreness, it became, through no fault of his host, one of the most miserable vacations he'd ever taken. So here we have a sob story. Yeah, maybe it's the hormones and the weird stuff and the completely going against nature. When he returned to Orlando, Jasper kept waiting for the pain to get better. When it persisted after a month, he visited a doctor who still couldn't figure out what was wrong. Nobody thought to check for pregnancy. So are you telling me that this man went to a doctor and the doctor, I didn't even know this. You could have fooled me. Oh, I'm a doctor.
I will perform any operation for $129.95. Come in for brain surgery and receive a free Chinese finger trap. Okay, Fred. You tried the best, now try the rest. Call 1-600-DOCTORB. The B is for bargain.
And I thought this was a man. Bro, what? It's all laughable. When the nausea, I don't even know. Nausea? No, I feel like I've heard this word my entire life and still don't know how to say it. Anyways, followed by mysterious new stomach pains after enduring an additional month of discomfort, he scheduled another doctor's visit. Maybe they told him he had an autoimmune condition, and they love that too. Oh, autoimmune disease. What's the other thing they use? They use all these they're weirdo hypochondriacs. It's like, dude or don't. But that's a different story. Perhaps it was rheumatoid arthritis, which ran in his family, but the stomach pains posed a mystery. They referred him for an ultrasound, and so the moment they refer him for an ultrasound, they are now admitting that this facade has completely collapsed. In August, Jasper scheduled the appointment, choosing a Saturday so he wouldn't need to take time off work. I feel sorry for whoever impregnated this carbon-based life form and whoever works with this carbon-based life form. And just personal note, I did work with several carbon-based life forms in Brooklyn, and it was very disturbing. Well beyond any sort of political ramifications and not really understanding what was going on many years ago, like working on a staff of like 30 with like 10 transformers. It was really weird, right? And that was the beginning of, no, this has to stop. Anyways. He was lying on the table when the clinician broke the news. Well, she said, of course you know that you're pregnant. Jasper sat up. You're joking. The telltale symptoms he'd struggled to place were actually something so simple. Still, Jasper couldn't believe it. She showed him the screen. And so you're still going with it. This carbon-based life form has a baby growing inside of his body, and you're still saying it's a him. It's just beyond the pale. I'm surprised nobody told you, because you're so far along. So you're a woman pretending to be a man that has been pregnant for, I don't know, a couple months at this point. From the clinician's reading of the ultrasound, it looked like Jasper was about 12 weeks pregnant, already through his first trimester. He'd heard about Roe v. Wade being recently overturned, but hadn't yet learned. And look, this obviously unstable person should not have access to a child, right? Imagine what those drugs and those hormones are going to do to that kid, right?
I'm losing my patience.
He heard about Roe v. Wade being recently overturned, but hadn't yet learned what that meant in his home state. That as of July 2022. While abortion in Florida would still be legal, the state would begin enforcing a law that prohibited the procedure for anyone past 15 weeks of pregnancy. When the nurse told him, it sank in how little time he had. So are we supposed to feel sorry for this carbon-based life form who's past the threshold of binning the baby, and we're supposed to, feel for him and want to change the laws so that you can murder a baby until kindergarten? Is that what's supposed to go on here? These are the same people that told you they saved the 2020 election. If Jasper wanted an abortion, he had 3 weeks to make up his mind, raise the money, and schedule not one but 2 appointments. That spring, the state courts had upheld a law mandating that anyone seeking an abortion needed to make 2 visits to the clinic, the first for counseling and the second at least 24 hours later for the procedure itself. He had no idea how long he might have to wait to be seen by a doctor. All he knew was that he had to move quickly. And they're obviously, they're just peppering this entire thing with him, he had to wait. Ugh. Jasper left the clinic to call his boyfriend from the car. The phone kept ringing, finally going to voicemail. Jasper called back and went to voicemail yet again. Sobbing, he dialed Planned Parenthood. It took him 5 or 6 tries before someone answered. He told the woman on the phone he had just found out he was 12 weeks pregnant. Jasper had always figured he'd want an abortion if he were to get pregnant, but now facing the decision, he was no longer sure what to do. He needed to know his options, how quickly they could see him. This is absolutely crazy. Obviously propaganda just doesn't do it justice, but this is absolutely insane how many times they pepper the word he and him in, but who is this really for? Right? And I've said it 100 million times, but you're not changing any minds, okay? There's a handful of weirdos that believe this and are probably clapping like seals in their own office cubicle or home or whatever about how amazing this is. But you can't you've gone past the point, right? You try to make the argument maybe a dozen years ago that, it's a spectrum. Okay, fine. But then you have zero proof to back that up. And you are now past the point of convincing anybody in their right mind that this makes any sense. Look, and it just goes on. But I'm not sure. We should look at this, bro. This, of course, reminds me of Julian Castro, who said, I believe in reproductive justice for the transgender American.
I don't believe only in reproductive freedom. I believe in reproductive justice. And, what that means is that just because a woman, or let's also not forget, someone in the trans community, a trans female, is poor, doesn't mean they shouldn't have the right to exercise that right to choose.
Okay, bro. But I guess the point here is it's a whole bunch of nonsense. And this one, I think, says only a 12-minute read versus the secret history of the shadow campaign that saved the 2020 election, which is a 35-minute read for them to tell you, we did what we had to do to make sure that Orange Man Bad didn't win. But on the plus side, if he had won, we'd be leaving the Trump years right now. But I guess we were in sort of this weird time squeeze, this weird Rona and everything. All the world stopped and then it started and then you had to wear a mask. But all that's gone. And I guess we kind of get 4 extra years of maybe some sanity, hopefully, knock on wood, because we all know that if Beau Biden were to win, no matter how many black colleges he speaks at,
I got more Morehouse men in the White House telling me what to do than I know what to do. You all think I'm kidding, don't you? You know I'm not.
If he is to win, we would have to do hot kinetic conflict, right? And I said that all the way back in 2019 because it wasn't believable then which is why they foisted something never before seen on the world on us to make sure that it did happen, but you've run out, right? The race card has run its course, the Rona card has run its course, and of course, you threw the Rona card out to play the race card once again. It was already on its last leg. But that aside, this is only a 12-minute read to let you know that a delusional man who was pretending he was pregnant needs an abortion in Florida.